What's going on, Burbank Misfits fans? It's your boy Rawstarr up here chilling at the FANFEST. You can look around. You see Greg Hammer Valentine. We got Maria Canuckas, Daniel Pewter. We got Matt Strucker in front of me. Behind me, I don't know if you can see him or not, but that's Jim the Anvil Neidhart. I'm having a good time. I don't know everybody over here. That's Crystal. I know her as one of the valet managers. Here talking to Crystal. And yeah, wrestlers galore. I don't know half these people. Some I do. Some I don't. I really wish I knew some of these people. Of course, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Is that Luke? Is it the Bushwhacker? I just saw Deborah Michael. That's kind of awesome. Barry's gonna die. So for Burbank Misfits fans, this was just a dinner. Tomorrow is the main thing. You got to see like a lot of people who's still here. You know, transformation. Miss Crystal. You got Maxine back there. I have no idea who the other people are. You all might. You got wrestling fans. Y'all know who they are and stuff like that. So yeah. So I look forward to at least knowing these people tomorrow. So when I take pictures with them, I know who the hell they are. Again, you never know who you're running to. That is Mr. Scott Hall. I just took a picture with him. I'm gonna have all my pictures afterwards. And right beside me is Diana Hart-Smith, and I don't know his name right there. And oh, you know, some of y'all know that I'm crippled, so you can't say that I never work out. I might only be doing the warm up, but still, I'm doing it. I've been doing it for like I want to say like 4 minutes. So anyway, I'm up here at the FANFEST doing the working the FANFEST. I got to meet a lot of WWE wrestlers, WCW wrestlers, people from back in the day, which is like NWA and stuff like that. It's been a very interesting thing to do, you know. I got to meet Scott Hall, which is kind of awesome. I got to throw with the NWO sign. I've actually had dinner with some other people, some like Diana Hart-Smith, and I've gotten to chill with Maxine, that was her name, and I've gotten to chill with Matt Striker and many other people. So it's very, very interesting, the job I'm doing. Yeah, so please continue to enjoy the video. Yeah, he's going forward. Hey, look, y'all, it's Alicia Fox. Isn't that awesome? So this is day 2 of the FANFEST thing. I'm actually not in the room, so I probably won't be able to show you all the wrestlers. I apologize. I am currently doing videos with them. However, I cannot fully record some of them for this show. This is what I do professionally, so I don't want to lose my job. So you did get to see some yesterday. I'm gonna try to record some later on today. I don't know who's still gonna stay in the building after this, because I know I've spoken to a few and they are leaving right after the event. But you get the opportunity to see certain people who I'm around, famous people I'm around. So hope you enjoyed it.
Making him the longest tenured employee in the WWE. He's been ring announcing since 1977, therefore he is my idol. He was inducted into the World Wrestling Entertainment Hall of Fame, class of 2009, and we all just saw him on Legends House. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the one and only Mr. Howard Finkel.
Thank you very much. You guys are way too kind. How's everyone this evening?
about in the back? How's everybody back there? Whether you're in the cheap seats or right up here in prime real estate, we're glad that you made tonight's event. We really are. Whatever. It's indeed my honor and my pleasure for the third consecutive year to be a part of this stellar event. I salute everyone who has been inducted thus far this evening. A lot of Connecticut troops, that's where I'm from, so I have to give props just out of respect to the Nutmeg State. And we also have, I have the honor this evening to induct some of the people that I have been associated with through the years in my great industry. It's been a great ride for me, but enough of me. Let's move along here, and I have the pleasure now of inducting an individual who was a very colorful man in his profession, and I'm talking about Matt Osborne, professionally known as Matt Bourne. Of course, if you know anything about Matt, he was a second-generation wrestler. I'm going to excuse myself. I need to put my cheaters on so we can read the notes I wrote. He is a second-generation wrestler, ladies and gentlemen, and he absolutely has been around the world, literally. You name it, he was there. One of the things that I remember vividly about Matt, of course, he was a mainstay in Portland, Oregon for Don Owen. He was a top star there. Of course, his dad, Tony Bourne, was also a top star in that territory, and that's where Matt carved his niche. In 1985, Matt had the honor of being in the second match of the original first WrestleMania when he wrestled Ricky Steamboat. It was a very good match, and Matt certainly made a credible showing for himself. Moving along, Matt then went on to other territories, such as World-Class Championship Wrestling. He also went to World Championship Wrestling. So Dallas, it was Atlanta, and in Atlanta he had another persona by the name of Big Josh. And this lumberjack of a man was another individual who gave credible performances night in and night out for his character. But I would suggest that Matt's biggest break came in 1993. With the advent of Monday Night Raw, Matt found his way back into WWF at that time, and he put a little face paint on. He put a red nose on, and he was the original Doink the Clown. He was not a good man. He was not a nice man, if you recall. Doink was the evil Doink, and it just worked so well for Matt. He was having fun. He had the time of his life. He was enjoying himself to the umpteenth degree, pulling pranks, or as we used to call them, ribs. But they were pranks that were made for television, made to generate more heat for him as a character. And did he ever portray the role tremendously? Doink, of course, things happened along the way, and Matt then unfortunately left our company. And then he, from 1994 until recently 2013, he went into some retirement. He worked occasionally, did conventions, and unfortunately, 1 year ago, Matt was here at the convention, and I recall seeing him in the hallway, and he said to me, "Howard, it's great to see you. I don't see you that often. I love you." And that just floored me in a very emotional way. Little did I know that was going to be my last time to see Matt, because unfortunately, just about 1 year ago, a week from today, Matt passed away at the way too young age of 55 years old. Matt will always be remembered as a person that seized opportunity and made the most of that opportunity. Tonight, I am going to recognize here to accept the Hall of Fame induction on behalf of the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. We have with us tonight Matt's wife, Michelle, and Matthew. I'd like to call Michelle and Matthew James up here to acknowledge the award for Matt Bourne, the newest inductee with the stripes. Basically, a referee. And we are honored tonight to induct into the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame Bill Daly, a.k.a. Billy Silverman. One thing that a referee has to do once he's in that ring is he has to be that third man. He is probably one of the most important components of the match. Make no mistake about it. It takes two to tango, but three's company in a good way. Billy fit that bill very, very well. Billy made his debut in 1985, working for Mario Savoldi and the group known as ICCW. To this day, I didn't figure out what those letters stood for, but I think it was International Championship Wrestling, whatever. But the Savoldis nurtured Billy very well, and he then had the opportunity, I would call it a break. In 1986, a gentleman who some of you may know, Rick Herring, who works in WWE's offices, at the time was working for the New York State Athletic Commission. And he recommended that Billy come down to Madison Square Garden as a state referee to give it a go. When you get invited into Madison Square Garden, you better be at your ample best, and Billy was that night and then some. And Billy remained in WWE working as a referee up until 1996. He worked from 92 to 96 full-time. He dabbled prior to that. He also worked for Alpha and Sika in their WXW promotion from 1996 to 2001. Billy retired at that time, and today he is a very successful real estate entrepreneur up in Maine. He owns some apartment buildings, and he also claimed, when I talked to him, I said, what was the greatest achievement of your professional career? What was the greatest match you ever worked for? Would you believe that he said, the match, basically, the finger poke of doom. Do you remember that, folks? That was the night that Kevin Nash, a.k.a. Diesel, wrestled Hulk Hogan on WCW. It was the finger poke. And it was, that was just quite an accomplishment for Billy to consider that one of his greatest matches of all time. But Billy Silverman, a referee getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, is a rare occasion. Tonight, Billy makes his dream come true. Ladies and gentlemen, they play the same damn song every time. I don't know. But nonetheless, folks, we're going to proceed with our presentation right now. And if I may say this with all due respect to the prior inductees this evening, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the main event! I mean that. It is my pleasure to start off this procedure, this proceedings of the evening, with the induction of one Jose Luis Rivera. There is a term in our industry known as a jobber. There is a term in our industry known as an extra, an enhancement talent. All basically names for people who week in and week out give their absolute best to put rising stars over in our industry. It's a thankless job. One of the guys tonight who is here that did it extremely well is Mr. Rivera. Well, if you wanted to call him Jose Luis, you could call him Jose Luis. You could call him Mac Rivera, Marcelino Rivera. Oh my God, you had so many different characters in the WWF. He started in Puerto Rico, of course, in 1977. And then he came into Puerto Rico and wrestled for the WWC in 1978. And then in 1979, he got his big opportunity to come to the WWE. And when you last in the WWE, or at that time the WWF, for that long of a period. You were there for over 10 years. You know something, folks? That means he was doing his job, and he did it damn well. So, I was kidding, but how many names did this gentleman have? Well, after researching it, it was, of course, Jose Luis Rivera. It was Matt Rivera. It was Shadow number 2. It was the Red Demon. You name it, he did it. But his biggest break, in my estimation, came in the late 80s. He and Jose Estrada formed a team that was exactly what we wanted. They were billed from somewhere in Latin America, and they were known as the Conquistadors. Do you remember? And their big opportunity happened at the Survivor Series that year. They were tremendous. They were fast. It was like Mr. Rivera and Mr. Estrada had a new lease on life. They took advantage of it. And they were very good at what they did. It's not all the time that I can say, tonight, this is a treat for me. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the newest member of the New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, class of 2014, Jose Luis Rivera!
20 years ago, I walked into Killer Kowalski School of Professional Wrestling, not knowing what to expect. All I knew is I love the business of professional wrestling more than anything. I always wanted to give it a try. For the first time seeing was Superfly, just as Marvin, but it was versus Ray the Crippler Stevens in the New Haven Coliseum. Howard, I'm sure you know something about the New Haven Coliseum. I was hooked. Prior to that, I didn't think I would ever be able to step foot into the squared circle. Every superstar I saw was 9'7", 857 pounds of muscle. And here I was, 6'3", 190 pounds. That's before I saw this long-haired, long-bearded, scraggly, scruffy, didn't fit the mold of a typical wrestler named Cactus Jack Manson. I said, that lunatic could do it, I surely can. It's been a crazy roller coaster ride for sure. It's been my honor to share the ring with such superstars as Kevin Sullivan, Stevie Richards, the Blue Meanie, Raven, Sandman, Just Incredible, Yokozuna, Sabu, Balls Mahoney, Axelrod, DeVito, Homicide, Tommy Dreamer, and Mick Foley, just to name a few. I found in this business, you make a lot of acquaintances, if you're lucky, some friends, and if it's just right, family. Tonight, I have some family here. It was my honor to be inducted by Dylan Cage. Dylan Cage is my brother. Came up here from North Carolina, insisted to put me in, came up here on his own dime to do this for me. Dylan, I love you, brother. You have no idea what we can get in Salisbury Beach for $16. Nux. Slam Dog and the Mercenary. The New York Posse. Slam Dog and Mercenary, we were booked through Tony Rumble. We had great matches. It was great. The New York Posse, 3 members, go jump the Brotherhood. 172 members of the Brotherhood against 3 members. Great booking, Nux. These men taught me how to be what being the boys was all about. Being the boys.
Burbank Misfits fans, I got one question for you all. What is illegal seafood? I'm sitting in front of this restaurant and I'm really
illegal seafood.
I really want to know. Let me know. How you doing, Burbank Misfits fans? It's your boy Rawstarr. I just wanted to say I hope you enjoyed the FanFest. Next year, hopefully I'm doing it again, and hopefully I can interact with more wrestlers than I did this year. I heard it's going to be a little bit bigger than this year, next year. So hopefully I can get some more people on camera, have them speak to you more. I was so busy in the back rooms, I didn't really get a chance to really go out like I would like to, and hopefully next year I will have more opportunity to, walk around and really interact with some of them, because I've met so many people this weekend, and hopefully I can meet so many more. But yeah, on my flight right now back to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and I'm leaving Rhode Island. So just continue watching Burbank Misfits videos, and we'll see you next time.